Weekly Essential, where we play you a band that you need to know if you don't know them already. For your Weekly Essential, be sure to send us your comments, your questions, and or your suggestions to ryansrockshow.com. I caught up recently with Nathan, Nick, and Vince of Tera Melos. Here's what these guys had to say.
There wasn't any one thing that made us say, like, oh, we're going to do it this way. It was just, that's just what seemed natural.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't know how to do anything. We just did it how it made sense. That's where we ended up.
So, like, was it hard to book your first tour?
Well, yeah, it was.
Yeah.
But it was still a lot of fun, and it wasn't. It definitely wasn't like the best tour, and it certainly, looking back, wasn't a very real tour. But I guess I don't have anything to relate it to because it's not like I had tried to book any tours before MySpace existed or anything like that. I'm sure for a band like us, it would have been immensely harder for us to do it, even 2 or 3 years earlier. So.
What was that first tour like, though? Did a lot of shows go under?
Yeah, there was like lots of days off. I mean, out of how many shows did we play? Like maybe 10, maybe. Like 10 out of like 15 days or something, somewhere along that. And maybe like 2 of them were really cool shows. One time, like we had days off where we like walk around like in Santa Cruz just looking for a coffee shop that would let us play,
Oh, man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
We did other really silly things too, like we played, we started in San Jose, and towards Northern California where we live. We played a show, like a house show in Santa Barbara, and then we drove all the way to Santa Rosa, which is back in Northern California, and then back down to like San Diego the next day. Like lots of really just stupid back and forth stuff. Like,
that's crazy.
An experience, I guess.
Did you just stay at like random people's houses?
Yeah, I mean people that we had met. We knew
like
some,
at the show.
Well, and like we knew some whoever had set up the show, might have known somebody, or we knew some people in some places. But other times there was one time, it was definitely on a different tour where we were just at a Kinko's and Nate and Nick just were walking around asking people if they knew somewhere we could stay. And then it being these 2 girls that came in that said that they had an apartment we could stay at.
And that ended up being awesome too, yeah.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, there were 2 girls at a Kinko's that we were making CDs or something, or making CD booklets, or doing sound scan or something like that. And there was just 2 girls, and we just started like talking with them, just probably about something stupid, and ended up like asking them if we could stay at their house or something. They were totally down. Like they had like other they were into bands and like music and stuff, and had like bands stay at their apartment before. It was pretty fun. And then Nate, you broke the shower, right?
Yeah, I broke their shower head.
How'd you break it?
It was just one of those like really fancy
Didn't you like
ones
try
that
to
have
stick
like
it in your ass or something?
Oh yeah, that was the one I tried to stick in my ass. No, it had like the 8 different settings, and I was just like, oh cool, fuck it, I'm gonna check out, see what this setting is, and I like just broke it off.
Oh shit.
And I just kind of like just stuck it back on there, and it would keep like falling off, so I just got to the point where it would stay, and then just got out, called it good.
Wait, were they hot chicks?
Actually, not really.
Oh, those are always the best. Yeah,
It's true.
The hot chicks or the fat
The
chicks?
fat chicks.
No, the hot chicks.
I think the hot chicks.
Oh yeah. Oh. So, how many tours did you book before you started getting on like bigger tours?
I don't
Lost
know.
count.
Yeah.
Like that many?
Well, not that many. Like
There's
under
probably,
10, probably.
Okay.
There's like maybe 4 of them that were 3 weeks, or 3 or 4 weeks, and but then there's probably like a few other ones that were 5 days. Or
We would do long weekends, and yeah. So, I mean, there's probably maybe 10, like we toured maybe 10 times by ourselves of just doing.
Just like West Coast stuff?
Yeah. Maybe, like how far did we go out by ourselves?
I don't think we ever went further east than like Houston.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy.
I think that was probably the furthest east, Oklahoma City or something.
Mm-hmm.
We just never really went past that, that range, I guess.
The tour that's coming up with Fall of Troy, where is that? Is that just West Coast, or is that like all over?
It's all over.
Oh, so you're excited
Yeah,
for
all
that?
over
Whole
the U.S.
US,
Even a little bit of Canada.
Dang, that's awesome,
Yeah,
man.
it should be fun.
Yeah, we had to get passports.
You just called up the booking agent for real, or you emailed them, and you're like, hey, dude.
Well, this was, probably, 2 years ago now or something, or a year and a half ago?
Yeah, getting on something like that. And about a year and a half, and yeah, we just really emailed him, and I mean, didn't present ourselves like idiots. We were like, hey dude, what's up? You should totally throw us on a sick tour. I mean, like,
Yeah.
I think we sent him stuff, and then sent him an email saying like, legitimately, this is our band, and these are the shows that we have played. We've been booked with these bands. We've toured the western and half of the United States this many times, and just you have to, in doing something like that, you have to make it seem like there's a reason they should be taking your band out, not just because you're sick and you want to go and it'd be great for you to do. I mean, like, they don't care about that. They're getting emails from people asking them to do that all day. I mean, it didn't hurt that we had already played with them once before, and we were a little on their radar. And also, their booking agent also books that band, or he does that band Heavy Heavy Lolo that we're also friends with, and so they had told him, like, hey, these guys aren't just, your average idiots, too. Like, actually, if they email you, like, don't just trash it,
Well, and the thing is that the booking agent saw that, like, we had, like, done it by ourselves, for a long time, and, like, I mean, the bottom line is people pay attention to that stuff, and if you do it by yourself and show, look, we were able to do it without your help, but now we're at a point where we could use the help. They, like, totally respect that a lot more than just your average Joe's just emailing booking agents saying, hey, could we, throw us on a tour or whatever.
We sound just like this band, and this band, so, I mean, like, I don't know.
I get emails from, like, younger bands all the time, where they're like, hey, can you put us on the show? And it's not realistic for me to put a band on the show that's not touring, obviously. So when you see bands like that are, like what you just described, what would you tell them?
I guess that they should be trying to get out there and tour. If they actually want to, like, go out and do stuff with their band, they actually have to go out and do stuff with their band.
Yeah.
They can't just sit around and wait for, someone to knock on their door and, give them a record deal.
I mean, the other half of that is, like, I mean, you have to be a good band. Like, I mean, yeah, you can book tours all day long, just like lots of bands do, and, do 5-week tours a couple times a year, without any help. But if you're, like, a shitty band, it sucks to say it, but, like, no one's going to care,
Yeah.
So, it's just all about, doing as much as you can without anyone else's help, because,
Yeah, that's pretty much what I've told people too. Is you should just go in with the mindset of, thinking nobody's going to help me out. We need to figure out how to do everything ourselves.
Totally.
And eventually you will do everything yourself, and the right people will take notice. So yeah.
Well, and there's a lot of truth to that. That the right people will take notice if you do, like, try your hardest and do everything you possibly can. Because, I mean, that's exactly what happened with us with, management and booking agents and other bands and stuff. So, yeah, there's a lot of truth to that.
We weren't like, oh, we're going to send this out to get signed, but we were like, well, we want to get on these people's radars just because we like bands that they do stuff with, or, we were just trying to do anything to get to the next level. But we were never, I don't think we were ever like these just wide-eyed little kids thinking that we were going to get signed to a record label off a demo.
Yeah.
We know, like, one band that happened for, and it seems like it was, like, pure luck.
What band?
They are our friends By the End of Tonight. They actually sent out a demo to Temporary Residence, which is the label that does, like, Explosions in the Sky and Mono and stuff, and they actually got signed off the demo. That's like
rare.
Yeah, and we only sent out, I sent out the packages, and there was like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like 31G in San Diego, Temporary Residence, like maybe Epitaph. I don't know. It was just like people that were like, yeah, we want these. We don't necessarily want to be on their label. We just want people to, like, know about our band, And that's how we approached it in, like, the little packages we sent them. It wasn't like we want, will you sign us? Will you sign us? It was just like, hey, check out our band. We really like stuff that you've you've put out or you've done. So like we want you to just know about our band. Friends with bands that like us, and they argue with their managers and their booking agents and say, no, we don't want to take out these shitty bands. We want to take out our friends, and that's how we get on these cool tours. You know, and that's really cool for us because we don't have to deal with all the bullshit of having a label or a booking agent. Don't get us wrong, like we're not saying we wouldn't want a cool record label backing us or a booking agent, but right now, like we sit in a pretty cool position to not have to have any of that, but still get to go out and tour and release records and stuff.
Does it, like, when you think about like record labels and the way the music industry is now, with everything kind of going digital, does that kind of like intimidate you a little bit that you're not on a record label?
No, not at all. I mean, their record labels aren't doing what they were doing 5 years ago. Like they're not doing like well. So I mean, if anything, I feel like what we're a part of is the way things are going to be heading. Like, you know,
I don't meet a lot of bands that are in the situation that you guys are in. I mean, truthfully, I think a lot of bands are kind of lazy, you know, and like they don't go out there and reach for it. And I think it's badass that you guys are doing that.
It just seems a lot of people think that they're going to get signed to the label and everything's going to be done for them.
Well, and like, I mean, it is like really irritating to see bands that like aren't working hard and don't know what they're doing, don't know how to load a van, or don't know anything about their gear or anything about booking a show, that are like, you know, on labels and with booking agents, you know, and selling lots of records, because it's like, shit, man, this is all we want to do, and we work like really, really hard at this, you know, this is all we care about, and it sucks, you know, and maybe sometimes we're a little bitter about it, but it'll be worth it in the end for us. You know?
And also, most of those fans, no one will know who they are a year from now anyways, so it's like, it's almost not as good as it seems for those fans.
That's true.
Because no one's going to know who they are. You know, even if they sell 10,000 records in their first week, you know, not going to sell anything next month.
Yeah, they're not going to stand the test of time.
Is that something that you guys want to do, is make music that's going to last? We're 20 years down the road, people are going to understand and still remember you guys?
Yeah, I would much rather have that than, you know, the cover of AP next month and then, you know, nothing.
Well, that I've always said that I'm interested in, making timeless music, and like I don't, you know, that depends on if people, you know, see it as being timeless. That's not up to me or us. That's up to other people, you know. But hopefully, maybe that, you know, people will see it that way. If not, that's okay. You know, that doesn't really matter. But it'd be really neat if that's how it ended up.
I got to change the subject a little bit because I know you guys toured with Finch recently. So they just got back together with their original lineup, or what happened?
It's not original. It's what would that be? I guess it's 3 out of 5. 3/5. Yeah, 3/5 of the original lineup. I guess I didn't let you finish your question.
No.
You're wrong.
That was my question.
It's not the original lineup. Yeah, it's 3/5. It's Nate, the singer, and then the two guitar players, Randy and the Grizz. It sounds like a weird like TV show or something.
Oh yeah, because I saw those guys on Warped Tour, man. I was like 15. I remember seeing them play, and like it's just, I don't know. They were like, at that time, they seemed really big. Just at that time, I guess when you're 15, anything seems like huge.
They were a big band, dude. They had a gold record.
They had a gold record for What Needs to Burn?
Yeah.
And
really? They were taking out bands like My Chemical Romance and what's the other one? The Used.
Yeah. I remember
they took those bands out on tour, you know, and it was, that was really nuts.
And what was it like playing with those guys, though? Because your music's totally different.
I mean, like, I guess, we could tackle this question a number of different ways.
Yeah.
That was never a band that we had, like, heard of or followed. We met Randy because he was our manager's assistant, and he was really cool, and he really liked our band, and was like, you know what, when we get back together, I want to take you guys out. So we were like, okay, cool, awesome, you know, like, we didn't really know anything about their music. So, like, I guess there wasn't a sense of, like, for us, it wasn't like, oh man, this epic band that we have followed forever is taking us out. It was like, oh, this cool dude is like taking us out. That's awesome, you know?
Oh, that's awesome.
But the shows were kind of strange for us to be a part of because they're there's not a lot of crossover in fan base for their fans to us. There's a little bit though. I mean, it wasn't like, it definitely wasn't a waste of time or anything. Like we had a fun time and we played some really good shows, some pretty big shows.
And no matter what, people will listen to this and think like we're being dicks about it, because that's the way this kind of stuff always happens. It was rad. We had a really good time playing those shows, and those dudes are super close friends of ours now. But yeah, it was a little weird, I mean, for our band to be playing with Finch. Like, not gonna lie, you know.
Like, big props or whatever people say to them, because they could have taken anybody out. Like, I'm sure they had people all over the place, wanting favors returned, saying, take this band out, and they said, we're going to take out this weird, noisy band that's going to bum people out before we play.
But that's cool that he's a man of his word, though.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, I'm going to take you guys out.
And Randy backed us, like, so hard. We played direct support, and the band that opened was a really, really nice band called
Sound the Alarm.
Sound the Alarm. And, they're on Geffen Records, and we played direct support for Finch. You know what I mean? We played over a Geffen Records band, and who are we? We're a weird experimental noise jazz band, And so, like, Randy is, like, backed us really, really hard and went through a lot of shit to get us on those 10 shows we played, which was rad,
Random question. What do you guys think about, like, vinyl? Are you guys, like, fans of that, or are you fans of, like, the digital?
I think it's really cool, like, and especially now where it seems like there's not a whole lot of incentive to buy music. It seems like the act of collecting vinyl is, like, coming back in and cool. Like, I mean, I think it's neat. I like the idea, especially of, like, a 7-inch that, would never get. Well, you can't say never because everything ends up on the internet, but, like, something being hard to come by and just, like, a cool little collector's thing. I think it's really cool.
Well, and we put out our second EP, the Drugs to the Dear Youth EP. We released that on vinyl first, 12-inch.
That's awesome.
And we only did 500 of them and got rid of them within, like, a month.
Wait, did you guys record on analog or digital?
That was digital.
Okay. But it was
but we released it on vinyl.
Oh, sweet.
And, we've talked about the idea of, like, pressing it again, but it's, like, so cool knowing that only 500 exists,
That's
like,
cool as hell.
Yeah, there's 500 people that have that, and, like, it's cool knowing that no one else will get to have it, It's kind of cool.
That's, like, really cool. Do you track live?
We do kind of like a mixed bag thing. We'll all set up and we'll all play together, but, like, the reason we're doing that, the most important thing, first and foremost, when we're doing that, is to make sure that the drums are perfect. And then he and Nick and I, can, like, go in and fix stuff and overdub tracks and just, like, make sure it all...
Well, and, drums aren't, like, recorded to a click track,
I was just going to say,
there's a feeling, and, and also... what's really important is the live feel you get to,
Props.
But, I mean, like, to play our songs perfectly, like, in 1 or 2 takes like that is just not likely. So usually, there's lots of, not lots, but there's overdubs and redos, but, because playing that stuff live perfect is just not going to happen.
You know what my biggest pet peeve is with, like, new bands is that they rely so much on technology and, like, Pro Tools takes it up. Your singer will, like, pitch correct it and make it sound, like, super perfect, and then when you go see a band live, it's like, dude, that sucks. It's nothing like what was recorded.
Right, and I mean, it works out in our benefit because we're just a dirty band as it is anyway.
Yeah,
like,
cool,
nothing of ours, we don't. There's a lot of stuff, like, with our recent release, the Split EP. There's vocals on it, and they don't sound, like, crystal clear perfect. We didn't want them to sound like that. He did them in our practice room, which is basically like a bedroom, Just, it fits our style a lot better.
Is it like kind of weird that the focus of your music is the actual instrumental rather than the vocals?
I don't think that's weird because the vocals are the instruments, like, it's... I wanted, like, the songs we were writing weren't as, like, riffy. They were more like, oh, I want to play a chord right here because I really like the structure and sound of this chord.
Yeah.
Well, if I smash on this chord for 8 measures or whatever, like, it needs something else over it, and so, why not just put a vocal melody over it?
You know what I mean?
That's cool.
So it's not the idea of like I have something to say. I want somebody to hear it. You know, I stand for this, and I want people to look into the lyrics and stuff. It has nothing to do with that. It's just like, cool, this works. I like the way it sounds, and 3 of us like the way it sounds. Rad. There you go. No more instrumental. You know. At the same time, we never wanted to be an instrumental band. Like it was just happened by default because we couldn't find anyone that would sing for us.
Yeah.
You know.
When you guys were playing with Finch, were people just like, wait, where are the vocals? Like,
Well, we had vocals on that.
oh, you did do it?
Yeah.
Okay.
We did,
but it wasn't like just. I mean, with a band like us, it's not just like here they are, here you know, they're singing. It's obvious. It's like, you know, you have to like find it in there, sort of. It's not like he starts singing right off the bat, and it's like clear, loud in front for everybody to hear. Yeah, I kind of forgot what the question was when I went in with all that.
I don't remember either, because this beer really got me buzzed. Like,
Dude,
I'm a lightweight, man. That's how it is. But I was talking about like fans reacting, and do they react weird with like?
Because they're just so used to vocals being
That's funny. Randy literally just called me.
Thanks to the guys in Tera Melos for coming on the show. We leave you this week shining some limelight on a band. They're called The Fall of Troy. We'll see you next week on